with the London Produce Show. London Produce Show 2022 is a go. Monday the 21st to Wednesday the 23rd of March at the Excel in London. And we're going to go live with a man that's going to tell us all about it. We're going to go live with the fresh produce icon himself, Jim Prevor. Jim, say hello to the world.
Hello, it's great to see you. Great to see everyone, all my friends in the UK.
Yeah, we've got to give you a clap. Here comes the clap. It's Jim, everyone. We've missed Jim. So just for those who aren't fully aware, who hasn't heard of the London Produce Show? And Jim, we're going to come on to some anecdotes about that in a minute. But I just really want to drive this home for everyone that's on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and also listening on the podcast on our Beanstalk series. The London Produce Show and conference is back. Thank the Lord for this. It is organized and hosted by the creators of the award-winning New York Produce Show and Conference. As the largest produce event in the United Kingdom, it gathers high-volume buyers and sellers from across the UK and around the world for unparalleled education and exceptional opportunities to network and build relationships. It provides a highly focused environment for business development, sourcing opportunities, and a unified forum for working together to boost produce consumption and to build a better industry. It is the only annual produce show in town and has been successful in attracting exhibitors and attendees from more than 50 countries to the English capital city in its first 3 years of its outings. We're live with Jim today to find out more about the London Produce Show 2022 and why it is a must-attend event. And we're just going to give a big housing call for the website, www.londonproduceshow.co.uk. Jim, with your 3 previous outings of the London Produce Show, what are some of the best memories you've got of the event, please?
Oh, the most important thing about this event is that we bring people together. It's a matter of having the world recognize something about the UK. Growing up, of course, in America in the produce industry, it became immediately obvious. My family used to export quite a bit of produce, and I remember we used to sell a lot back then to Marks and Spencer. And honestly, they rejected so much of the produce. We never knew how they could keep themselves in stock because they were so quality conscious. And as I go around the world and dealing with different retailers, it's really the UK retailers that are the gold standard for quality assurance in the world. They have technical people and things that most retailers in America and around the world just don't have. So it's always been a market that punches above its weight, because if as a vendor, your products are accepted at the UK retailers, that's a sign for retailers around the world as to your quality, food safety, sustainability, all kinds of important issues.
And what was the catalyst to create the London Produce Show? Because the New York Produce Show, the very successful New York Produce Show, has been running for a long period of time. Why the ambition to come to London?
Well, actually, it came from friends of mine in the UK who came to the New York show and said, we really need something like this. There's nothing like this in the UK. And then, speaking to other people around the world who have this tradition of connection to the UK from the Commonwealth and so forth, it became obvious that this was a place where world standards were being set, and we wanted to be a part of that.
And I think there's one thing that I've always learned, Jim, having traveled a little bit with my job, is that the produce sector globally is a family, isn't it? It's a community, and that's why we need catalysts. We need disruptors, positive disruptors like you to shake it all up a bit and get us all together. And I remember being at the 3rd London Produce Show and meeting some of your colleagues from your team, and also being introduced to some of our American equivalents, and they were saying the same thing. This is brilliant. The London Produce Show, it is such a community. We're learning so much from the retailers that we're meeting today, and hopefully they're learning something from us. So I think all credit to yourself and your team. That's it's been a difficult 2 years for everyone, but especially for those in the exhibition space, and for you to have to be brave for our sector and actually come and do it again, the London Produce Show, after you've had your 3 previous outings. I think bless you all. We're really looking forward to it. So there's some real positive changes for London Produce Show 2022. Can you tell us about those, please, Jim?
Sure. I mean, I think there's two big things. There's the world has changed. And, you know, when we did our New York Produce Show in December, it was amazing. People who had seen each other 4 times a year for 30 years hadn't seen each other at all for 2 years. It had been all Zoom, it had been all on the phone. And when they got together, it was really touching. It was an incredible experience. I mean, the tears, the hugs, the high fives, it just brought everyone together. And we were so happy to play a part in that. And our thought when we had to decide, should we go ahead and do this? And, you know, there's always problems when you've had a pause. You fall out of people's budgets and you have all kinds of issues like that. But we just said, it serves a role. It's an educational role. It's a communal role. And we said, we have to do it. And so we did. Now, the way we decided to do it was, I think, going to be a big gain for the produce industry. What we decided to do was co-locate the event. For years, we've done it at the Grosvenor House Hotel, which is a lovely, lovely facility. But we were very limited in space and very limited in what we could do in that space. Well, now we've moved to Excel and we've co-located. We're right in the heart between IFE, the International Food and Drink Exhibition on the left, and on the right, Hotel, Restaurant, and Catering, HRC. So we're right in the center of the food industry of the United Kingdom. And whereas we'll have 3,000 or so produce specific people, there's so many people who are engaged with produce. If you think about the whole catering and food service sector,
yes,
you have people who 10% of their purchases may only be produce. The rest is other food items. But that 10% is vitally important, but they're not likely to come to a lot of produce specific events, but they're there at HRC. And now we can interact with them. Same thing on the smaller retail side. They don't necessarily have, you know, full-time teams of 10 people buying produce, but they buy a lot of produce. And putting these two together, we're like in the heart now of the food industry. And we're estimating there'll be probably 80,000 people in the food industry at Excel.
Wow, and Jim, it's a marketing stroke of genius, isn't it, to have the London Produce Show there with 2 other events. So there's going to be this fantastic osmosis, isn't there, from all these 3 shows with all of these people moving around. Because we can get quite siloed, can't we, in our own sectors, and to actually break that and to be a bit brave and to go to those other shows and see those other people coming into us. Again, it's another reason why we all must attend, either on foot or as an exhibitor. And I was talking to some clients at lunchtime, and they were talking about the apathy that there seems to be about attending shows and events. And I nearly said to them, well, are you going to attend the London Produce Show? And they said, but we're going to the London Produce Show because that's a given, because it just looks to be unique. We've got 3 shows in one. We're probably going to have to do all 3 days, Max. So we're really looking forward to the London Produce Show. So I'm getting that. We've got to say this, Jim. We can't be modest here. That with the success that you've created with the New York Produce Show, the learnings that you and your team have learned from that, the success that you've created with the London Produce Show, and now the success that you're going to create with London Produce Show 2022 at the Excel. We want everyone to come, don't we? To be part of that, to re-engage, as you said, to hug and to meet up again, and also to learn from these other two shows that are going on. Jim, would I be correct? We want everyone to come and attend.
We definitely want everyone there, and we're inviting them. And this year, one of the things we did, we eliminated any costs to come and visit the show. It used to be we did have to have a charge to pay for everything we were doing at the Grosvenor House, but here we decided to open it up to the whole industry, and free access is provided to the show. So we're expecting a tremendous increase in the numbers of people that will wind up showing up. And we think, especially in this reunion year, it's a really important thing for the whole industry to be able to come, We didn't want to impose obstacles for people. Some people have had hard years these last couple of years. Some people have prospered, but this is a time for the whole industry to get together. And we wanted to make the London Produce Show the place for that.
Yeah, well done, Jim. And let's not beat around the bush. There's a lot going on politically and economically. But Jim, if there's one thing I've learned from so many people such as yourself, and I think this actually came out in one of your fantastic seminars at London, if there's a world war, world recession, or a world pandemic, people have got to do two things. They've got to eat and they've got to clean. So if you're in the eating game or the cleaning game, you're going to be in a good spot. And what do people want on the back of a pandemic? They want to be healthier. They want to eat more fresh produce. And so our sectors, and Jim is right in the zeitgeist. So there's more that's going to happen. So we've got to get together to network and find more avenues, find more growers, and to have more of that interaction. And your event is the first event that we've really had in the UK in the last 2 years, haven't we? So another reason why we must trip along to Excel on the 21st to the 23rd of March. So Jim, what's the structure going to be? Is it going to be similar to previous events, or is it going to be a walk round exhibition, or are there going to be seminars? Could you just hold our hand on that element, please?
Sure. What we have done is we have our own show. We have our own booths there, stands there. We have our own workshops, our own seminars. We have our own new product showcases. We have our own chef demo stations where they're demonstrating all fruit and veg centric dishes. But we have a series. One of the blessings of this that I'm so happy about, we were always so constrained in the number of workshops and seminars we could provide. But we're going to have about 18 this year because we can spread them out over those 3 days. And one focus, for example, is right there on that issue of increasing consumption. And we're going around the world on this to find different ways of doing this. We have Maria Wilcock from ICA in Sweden, who's run a whole program about how they as a retailer can act to increase produce consumption. And she's going to talk about some of the learnings they've gained and what their plans are for the future and bring them all to London. We have Rich Dochman, Rich Dochman runs a program called Brighter Bites, and it's a real innovative program that was developed in the US. He used to be the head of produce for Cisco when they acquired the Fresh Direct business in the UK. So he was very involved in the UK, and he's going to try and bring some lessons that they have learned, because they're really focused on getting people of lower income to increase produce consumption. And that's a very important issue because it is mostly higher income people who have higher produce consumption. And then in the UK, we have another presentation from the Veg Power movement talking about what they're looking to do. So by combining Sweden, the US, the UK, we're hoping to come up with some new solutions that will really help us boost consumption. And that's going to benefit everyone.
Yep, and the speakers that you nominated, I can't wait to hear from them. And Veg Power, we've had them on previously. And Jim, I don't know if you know, they've just managed to, my English phrase, they've just managed to blag £5 million worth of TV advertising to promote Veg Power on the UK networks, and they're fantastic, as you'll find out again. And they're doing such a benefit to the sector, because if they can get the consumption figures up, that's going to benefit everyone in the supply chain, because we're going to sell more fruit and veg across the line. And Jim, I've just had a WhatsApp from someone that's dialed in. Is there still time to be able to exhibit? Can people still come in on that basis?
We have a few booths left, so we're happy to help anyone who would like to get a stand still. There's always opportunities. There's opportunities for speaking. There's opportunity for sponsoring things. There's opportunities for having a stand, and there's opportunities to attend. And we welcome everyone on the basis that they're able to do. We're in it for the long term, and our goal is to talk to them, get everyone involved, and we'll just make it bigger and better for next year.
And everyone, we're very blessed to have been involved with the London Produce Show, because we did some educational trips, and we only did it because of the backing from the London Produce Show and the networks that we created and the sponsors that we gained from attending, from having a booth at the previous London Produce Show event. So we can say that the London Produce Show works either as an attendee or as a sponsor. Jim, and the bit I also want to say is about collaboration. There's one thing I've learned over the last couple of years is the more that we can collaborate in the sector, the more that we can benefit. So if you want to collaborate with Jim and his team at the London Produce Show, and collaborate with the people that you're going to meet there. So how can we find out more, Jim? Where can people go to find out, to register, or to come to exhibit? How do we find out more, please?
Well, the best way is just to go to our website, londonproduseshow.co.uk, and you can do everything there. There's also obviously emails and phone numbers. If anyone wants to reach out to me, my email, jprevor, Prevor, at Phoenix, Phoenix, media, media, net.com. I'm happy to talk and try and build something, but everything's on the website, and from there we can do great things.
Yeah, Jim, well done. We're so excited for the London Produce Show 2022. So let's just hit you with the dates again. Monday, the 21st of March to Wednesday, the 23rd of March at the Excel in London. Everyone in the UK has been to the Excel, but if you haven't, it's got some of the best networks in, whether that be by tube or rail. It's even got really good parking on site, and the facilities on site are beyond amazing. It's a purpose-built exhibition. And again, the stroke of genius from Jim and his colleagues to be in amongst two other major food events, all that cross-fertilization. Jim, especially as an exhibitor, you can imagine the sort of people that are going to come in and not knowing of the fresh produce sector, being amazed and enlightened by it. So it's such a huge opportunity, again, there for exhibitors and sponsors. So Jim, we wish you and the team the best luck. Before we love you and leave you, we've just got to know that seminal question. Jim, what's your favorite fresh produce?
Oh, I'm much too smart to reveal such a privileged information. So I'll just go with, a robust fruit salad containing everything.
Excellent. I thought I knew, Jim. I thought I nearly had you then. I thought you were going to pin your flag to the mast on mango or bananas, but then yes, you create a political storm, wouldn't you? Jim favors bananas ever made. You just imagine that machinations going through the whole of the global fresh produce sector. Right, come on, everyone. London Produce Show, Monday 21st, Wednesday 23rd of March at Excel. Really looking forward to it. Jim, well done, and thank you for being so brave and taking this step with you and your colleagues to relaunch this, because by crikey, we need this. We need to get back out there and get networking again. Jim, really looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Look forward to seeing everyone there.
Excellent. Thank you, Jim. Thank you.